2013, and this is the StephenBlakesley.com podcast. On today's podcast, we will talk to Andy Forsberg, the 2012 Civil War and Placerville champion, about the upcoming kickoff weekend for both the Silver Dollar Speedway 410s and the Civil War sprint cars. But first, a look at the racing results from this weekend. Friday night saw the christening of the brand new Stockton 99 dirt track inside the San Joaquin County Fairgrounds horse track. The 3/8 mile dirt track was tackled by 45 World of Outlaws, including notably former Sprint Cup champion Tony Stewart and former King of California Kyle Larson. Smoke and Larson flew up to Stockton after practice and qualifying activities with NASCAR in Fontana. Larson and Stewart both made the dash. The sellout crowd of over 10,000 fans witnessed a thrilling 30-lap main event, with Larson trading blows with TK Tim Kading in one of the best World of Outlaw main events in recent memory. Larson took the lead back from TK with 2 laps remaining in lap traffic to claim the $10,000 main event aboard Paul Silva's number 57.
Yeah, it's a really good racetrack. 1 and 2 is perfect. Slick with a big cushion right on the top and a little bit of bottom, so it made for good racing. And 3 and 4 was fun. You could really go faster there, and started getting racy at the end of the race. So I think the track prep was great. TK's stolen so many wins for me late in the race, and it was good to start stealing back from him. So hopefully, I know Tim's the one to beat every time we come to California. Whether we're going to any racetrack in California, he's always better than the Outlaws. So it was fun to beat him at an Outlaw race for a win.
Tony and Carol Nocetti deserve praise for putting together an incredible venue in Stockton, and we can't wait to see this track grow over time. On Saturday, the Outlaw Trail moved over to Chico for the Mini Gold Cup with another strong field of over 40 cars. Paul McMahan took the win to give Elk Grove, California a sweep of the weekend, and McMahan also signed papers to commit to the full 2013 Outlaws campaign after a red-hot start where he finds himself second in the standings.
Winner in the Mini Gold Cup at Chico for the World of Outlaws, Paul McMahan. This is a place you know very, very well. Very special track for you here. It's good to get the win in your own backyard. And the Elk Grove drivers, Kyle Larson wins it last night. You win, so Elk Grove drivers sweep the weekend for the World of Outlaws on the West Coast.
Yeah, we sure did. Elk Grove raced some pretty good race car drivers, obviously. Kyle's doing a hell of a job. Everything he gets into, he seems to win. But thank God maybe he wasn't here tonight and let me get a chance to win a race. So, this is very special for me tonight here at Chico. It's Mini Gold Cup. I've won it once before, but I kind of backed into that one. And tonight I earned this one with everything I had to pull 40 good laps together and get the victory. You can't say enough for all my guys, Barry Jackson, Pickles, and Jonesy. Give me a great race car and worked their butt off all night long, and it paid off at the end of the night.
Tony Stewart made an unpublicized appearance on Saturday night at Silver Dollar Speedway and drove to a stout third-place performance. His busy weekend, of course, concluded on Sunday with a wild finish at Fontana, where he had fisticuffs with Joey Logano in the NASCAR Sprint Cup event.
Tony Stewart, third place, World of Outlaws. I believe Chico is a place you wanted to come to for a long, long time. This week, jet setting, you did Stockton last night, back to Fontana, back up here. Great to have you up here, and a great drive night. Wild, crazy finish at the end there, but really a great drive from you tonight, and starting up the front there.
Yeah, for first time here, I'm pretty happy with our performance. So definitely got to do a little better job in the main. But for first night, my goal is just to make the A main tonight. So to be able to win the heat and win the dash and start up front in this thing was pretty cool tonight. Yeah, we're loving it. We got 70 booked this year. So I never got to run wing cars when I was coming up through the ranks. So I guess I'm reliving a second childhood here. But man, we're having a blast. And Jimmy Carr, Eric Prutzman, Marty Williams. Those are the 3 guys that babysit me every week with this wing car, and it's a lot of work, a lot of travel. It's inconvenient travel for them because we always got to go somewhere that's convenient with my cup schedule. So they go a lot of miles and a lot of hours to let me go and have fun and play.
Other winners on the weekend included Kyle Vanderpool in the new Wing Sprints versus Super Modifieds program at Madera, with Cody Swanson winning the USAC Midget main event at Madera, and Richard Vanderweerd won with the USAC West Coast 360s at Bakersfield. This weekend's races include the Friday night points kickoffs for both the Chico 410s and the Ocean Sprints 360s. The World of Outlaws will continue their California swing on Friday in Merced as well, and Saturday night is the Civil War Sprint Car opener and return to Antioch Speedway. We will have live Twitter updates on Friday from Ocean Speedway for the Taco Bravo opener on Twitter handle @StephenBlakesley. When we come back to the StephenBlakesley.com podcast, we'll talk to Andy Forsberg about the upcoming 2013 campaign. But first, a look at our sponsors. StephenBlakesley.com is brought to you by MotoWear International. Throughout the world of racing, there is a common thread. MotoWear, online at MotoWear.com. And also brought to you by Matt Jackson of Proline Pit Carts, the promoter of the Toyota Southwest Superlates, racing at Willow Springs on the road course in 2013. For more information, visit swsracing.com. And also brought to you by qmparts.com, the one-stop shop for all your quarter midget racing needs. Get your parts today at qmparts.com. And we're back on the StephenBlakesley.com podcast, and we're talking to the man, Andy Forsberg, who's on the phone with us. And Andy, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
So, Andy, let's look first at what happened the last couple of weeks. Of course, there was the Marysville situation from a few weeks ago, and I understand that you attended the memorials for both Dale Wonderjam and Marcus Johnson. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, I was, it's totally the saddest thing we've all gone through here the last few months with all of the racing buddies. But Dale's thing was real nice, just at his ranch, beautiful place up in Grass Valley, up in the sticks, and he had a really nice place up there, a nice big shop, and basically just a bunch of racers hanging out, kind of BSing and having a good time, and just kind of looking at some old pictures of Dale. Dale was a flat track racer, and there were some cool pictures of him back in the 70s racing at Calistoga and four-wheelers and quads, and then, as him and Ricky started racing together, his son Ricky, and it's kind of cool to see the progression of the, the father-son racing deal. And then Sunday, yeah, we went to Marcus's deal, and that was a little more traditional of a funeral, I guess. It was a church, and I guess there was over 2,000 people there, and it was a pretty sad deal, not to say that one thing is sadder than the other, but to see those parents up there without their child, I can't imagine what it was like. So, it was nice to see the Johnson family afterwards and kind of chat with them a little bit. And, nothing's going to cure that deal but time, and it's going to take a lot of time. And hopefully Chase gets back in the car. I can't say if he is or not, but I hope he does. And I think that would help them keep on keeping on, really.
So you're a little bit more of a veteran compared to some of these young 15-year-old guys, but in any case, you took the weekend off from the Outlaws. So how tough will that be for you to get back in a race car after all this?
It won't be. You just kind of get in, do your thing. It's just a part of it. It's kind of ruthless to say, but we'll get on with it. If we had a competitive piece 410-wise, we would have ran with the Outlaws too at Stockton and Chico. But our 410 program is just really not quite up to snuff as far as racing with the Outlaws. It's a decent local piece, but as far as going and banging your head against the wall against the Outlaws, it's a pretty expensive endeavor. So it kind of made more sense for us just kind of take a break, go to the two services, and just kind of take that weekend off. But as of this Friday, we don't have any time off, and we've got 60, 70 races on the schedule. So we'll make up for missing last weekend.
And when you look at that event on Friday at Stockton with over 10,000 people there, it really looked like it's a great racetrack, first of all, but also with that crowd. What were your impressions of that whole thing?
I was in awe. I've never been a part of anything like that. I've never been back to Knoxville. So I guess that probably would rank up there with the amount of people. I think even Knoxville gets a lot more people. But as far as just a one-night show, to have the place crawling with people like that, it was amazing. And even I was talking to Cowboy Craig Smith, who's buddies with Terry McCarl, and he was talking to Terry, and Terry actually said, they don't really have anything like that, a crowd like that throughout the entire season. Obviously, Kings Royal and Knoxville, the Nationals, but just as far as a weekly show for the Outlaws, that was kind of unprecedented for them as well. So, you know, would that ever happen again? You know, now that they race there, obviously I think there was a little bit of first-time people going for the first time. But, I mean, I don't see really one complaint. I mean, there was a little bit of crashing, but, you know, that'll happen. The track was great. For the first time out, the track was really great, the way the wind was blowing. But, you know, I think that place definitely deserves people to give it a second chance, you know, to go to whatever, whether it be a King of the West race, or I think CRA's going there, or USAC CRA, whatever might be there. You know, obviously there probably won't be 10,000 people there, but definitely worthwhile going and checking out. It was cool. And I thought maybe it would be different with the track being kind of far away from the grandstands, but I walked up in the stands and it was a unique view, and I really didn't see one complaint. I mean, that place did a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like a perfect event for being the first one. Now, if you look at the start to your season, you had some bad luck in your family car at the Sherm-Teller Memorial, but then you turned it around in the 7C, getting the victory at the Silver Cup, and now you climb into the X1 car to finally kick off the Civil War at Antioch. I know the Civil War hasn't run there in a long time. I don't know how often you've run there. What are your expectations of Antioch?
I have no expectations. I don't know what to think. I haven't been there. We ran a few Civil War shows there in the early 2000s, like 2000 and 01, and then I ran Golden State there 03, 04, and 05. So I haven't been there since 05. Haven't seen it since they changed the track. You know, my expectations are to go and do well and, you know, win. That's my first priority. But yeah, I'm. You know, we didn't really have bad luck at Marysville. That was all self-inflicted. People like to talk about bad luck. You know, you kind of make your own luck, and I definitely made my own bad luck there. I stuffed in the fence in hot laps, which I've never done, and I better not ever do again. But we joked. I wasn't sure what was worse, to do it in my car and I had to pay for it, or do it in the X1 and have to listen to Alan ripping my butt. So I had to weigh my options there. And actually my dad and the guys are over there putting that car back together right now. So, you know, we're licking our wounds from that still. But, you know, that's racing, and we'll keep on moving.
So your 2012 season, that was almost a perfect season. You won the Placerville title, you won the Civil War title, and you came up a little bit short at Silver Dollar in the 410 deal. Are you planning on going for the triple again this year?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I think the schedules all cooperate. We're just about ready to fire the 410 car off, you know, right now actually, and we're going to be ready for Chico on Friday. We don't really go to win championships, but we do race every weekend, so that's kind of why we're always in the point set. You know, we never really take any time off, and so it just kind of works out that we're in the point set. Yeah, so the plan would be to win the championship, and like I mentioned before, you know, qualifying with the Outlaws, that motor, for whatever reason, we don't qualify well, and that's where Becker just ate me up last year. I mean, he qualified well, and I didn't, so we tied for the championship, and he had the tiebreaker. So, yeah, we were darn close to the triple last year, but we'll see. We'll give her a go again, and we're trying some different tune-ups in the motor. Steve Ticelli from the X1 kind of came around a Gold Cup and kind of fine-tuned on the motor a little bit. Just, I mean, it's not really a dog. It's just when you're talking 2 or 3 tenths, which, you know, is huge in racing, but by the eye, you can't see 2 or 3 tenths, but we'll see. We'll just have to get our ducks in a row here, and if it's meant to be, it'll happen.
And I know two of the things you enjoy doing is getting to take the wings off and run with USAC when you can, and also getting to race down there at Watsonville. What would that mean to you if you were able to get a win at Watsonville this year?
That would be cool. You know, there's definitely a rivalry more between the fans, between, you know, like Watsonville's got the best drivers or Placerville's got the best drivers, and you know, everybody says the Placerville guys are afraid to go down there and Watsonville guys are afraid to go to Placerville, and it's really not the case. I mean, it's just logistically, it's very tough for, you know, a NorCal team to go down there and for a Bay Area team to come up here. So it's kind of funny, you know, the good guys at Placerville would go down there and do good, and the good guys at Watsonville would come to Placerville and do well. It's just a matter of where you're able to race on what particular night. It would mean a lot. I mean, we've been close a couple times. You know, we went down there, I don't know, 4 times last year, and we never ran worse than 4. So we're close, but, you know, to go down there and beat Tommy Tarleton and Furr and Golobic, you got to have everything just right. And we were close a couple times. We just kind of missed it a little bit, but we'll see. It's I think a win's close for sure.
Now, I got to think when you go down to Watsonville, one of the things that makes that fun is it's something different for you. Is there ever a time when you're climbing into the car at a place like Placerville, you've run there so many times, where you kind of don't feel the edge or anxiety, or do you always get amped up for a race like that?
I'm amped up all the time. It was funny, I was talking to Mike Benson this weekend. We hung out together watching both at Stockton and Mini Gold Cup at Chico, and it was nice not walking around without the butterflies in the stomach or that pit in your stomach that you're talking about. You know, no matter what, I mean, some people may think I make it look easy, but I don't feel like it's easy for sure by any means. So every time I hit the track, it's the nerves are hitting me hard, and I just go out and do my thing. It might look easy, but I don't feel like it is, that's for sure.
And we talked about this a little bit last year at the Civil War at Placerville, but I was wondering, what does that mean to you to have your accomplishments be where they are, and you're moving up the ladder as maybe one of the greats of California sprint car racing, and you're still kind of a young guy? It seems like you've accomplished a lot in a short period of time, and what does that all mean to you?
It means a lot, but, you know, it's funny. You see the stats and stuff that other people do, and you think that's way cooler. Like Brian Crockett and Kevin Urton and those guys that I kind of grew up watching and kicking butt at Placerville and Civil War. You know, what they did was really cool. And I'm kind of doing the same thing that they're doing, but I don't think it's as cool that I'm doing it. I don't know if that makes sense, but statistically, I guess it's on paper, it's starting to look pretty good. And my wife Candace was asking me, she goes, "How much longer are you planning on doing this?" And I didn't really know. I don't have an answer. For now, I still got a good group of people around me, and I'm going to just keep on going as long as I'm still winning races. And then I'll probably always be involved with racing, probably hang out with a buddy that's got a car and just go and hang out and scrape mud and do what I can. But for now, I still think we got some racing left in us, that's for sure.
Well, I think as long as you're getting those butterflies every Friday and Saturday, that tells you belong out there. Yeah, I guess. It would be funny. I wonder if Steve Kenzer gets butterflies. You know, those guys race so much, and I mean, we do too, but I'm never comfortable, and no matter what race I'm in or when I'm leading a race, I always feel like someone's right on my butt, and I feel like I'm about to lose the race every time. But it's just I'm just driving like a crazy animal, trying to win races and stay out front. Doesn't feel easy, I'll just say that. Do you ever look at those guys like Kinzer and kind of wish that you were on the road doing that Outlaws thing, or are you pretty happy here? I'm pretty I mean, yeah, I guess ultimately your goal would be to be an outlaw or a NASCAR driver and be, you know, famous, rich, and all that jive. You know, not working all week long, huffing lacquer like I do, and then, you know, go and race on the weekend. But there is a drawback to traveling like those outlaws do, man. I can't imagine the living in hotels and motorhomes and driving like that. I mean, I'm kind of spoiled now. I kind of stay close to NorCal, and I always sleep in my own bed, which is important to me. I don't like staying at hotels, and so I guess I kind of got the best of both worlds right now. You know, I got my family around me, and we're racing and having fun and not getting burnt out because I got, you know, we're splitting between my personal car, the X1, and the ANA 92. You know, one team, no one checkbook gets totally burnt out, and it's just working really good right now. Well, Andy, we want to thank you for coming on our show, and good luck this weekend at Antioch. All right. Well, we'll see what we can do. We got Chico, too, on Friday, so we got a doubleheader and just kick off a bunch of races in a row now. We want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of the StephenBlakesley.com podcast, and a thanks again to our guest, Andy Forsberg. A reminder, we will have Twitter updates on Friday night from the Ocean Sprints opener on the Twitter handle @StephenBlakesley. And for the best in short track racing news, you can follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you at the races.